He'll take the return, try to get better field position. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. So the Arizona State Sun Devils offense is going to be backed up thanks to that lackluster return. And here's the man they'll try to feed the football to no matter what the coverage looks like, Jesse.
He's their best player on offense, and I like the way this coaching staff moves him around and tries to create good matchups to take advantage of, David.
And that makes it so hard to defend. When the receiver lines up in the same spot every time, I can bring extra coverage. Man, use this guy all over the field as a weapon of mass destruction.
This guy's gotten off to a good statistical start, guys. With that last completion, he's already now over 1,000 passing yards on the season, and man, you know he's looking for more.
Unloads to the wideout. Got his man. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. New set of downs after that completion. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play. This conference has a history of getting wacky, and the last thing you need to do is get off to a slow start in ACC play.
And what does everybody talk about every year, right? Like conference games, how much they matter, the familiarity with everybody around you. You can only start this one time, so let's bring that energy, bring that momentum. Who wants to start the season off?
Well, the ACC is a conference that feels like oftentimes it just goes down to the wire. And those games late in the season are the ones that really determine what happens. But you got to set yourself up for success, and it starts right here in the first conference game in the ACC for your team.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big game.
Off the RPO, complete. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down. Now on second and short. Scanning the field, it's Childs. Going to try to pop one on the screen. Oh, it's out! A defense scoops it up, and they're bringing it back.
And that's a huge play by the defense. Great job and great effort getting to the ball carrier and swatting at the football, knocking it out, and then falling on it for a massive fumble recovery.
The offense set for a first down play. Here's the handoff. Good surge up front. Give him 4 out to the 18. The Horned Frogs want to move quickly. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all off season, so they better be ready to bring it today.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to...
And that pass intercepted. Touchdown, Arizona State! And this defense coming out with points of their own. What an interception return.
You always hear the old saying, tips lead to picks. Quarterbacks have got to be careful. You've got to be so accurate with the ball. If you're not, and the defender tips that thing up into the air, bad things generally happen. Pick 6. Doesn't get much worse than that.
And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just... Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen, so you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
So after the first down run, here's second down. This quarterback part of their running game. And it's loose. Defense falls on the ball. Going to be a turnover.
As a defender, you love the big hits. You know what the cherry on the sundae is? When you get the big hit and force the fumble.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Made a defender miss. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be first and goal. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. Wants to throw. It's Childs. And it's caught. Touchdown, Sun Devils.
And this offense continues to have some success. And I'll tell you what, when it gets down to it, you need a play, they're starting to find this playmaker. You can tell the QB looks for him. That's 3 TDs now in 4 games, and I think they'll keep feeding the big fella.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again, right? It's been really hard for this offense in this game to run the football, but they finally break off a big run there. That could be the play they need to really generate momentum and get this run game going.
Looking to go up top on first down. Gets away. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. And the Horned Frogs want to pick up the tempo. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. He wants to throw here on second down. Dances away. He'll let one go down the right side. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play. The Horned Frogs have their offense in high gear.
What a beautiful throw and catch on this play, and I love the job the receiver did tracking the ball in the air. Nice job of locating the throw and then hauling it in.
They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the first down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And now on second down for this offense. He's looking to throw. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be third down. That last incomplete pass has him staring at a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. He wants to go deep. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Got to give the defense credit on that play, taking everything away, forcing the incompletion. Now it's decision time. 4th and short, and you're in field goal range. What do you do here?
On fourth down, looking for the completion. Finds his man, and they convert. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down. He's looking to throw it. He'll try to do it himself. They make the stop, and that's how the first quarter will end. That's the end of the quarter, and Arizona State has the lead. Really strong performance so far to be able to build a lead here in the first period as we look at the stats. Just about ready to get things started here in the second. We'll see if they continue to flex that muscle. Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. He'll take a shot. And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down. Trying to pick up a first down. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. They get him on the ground, but it's a first down. Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. 1st and 10. Working that left side now. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. The give on the inside. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making big plays. Sometimes it's about getting that first down to make sure I get an extra set of downs instead of trying to make those big teams.
And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, TCU! And these guys just score from anywhere out there. After that drive, it sure looks that way.
And that's what separates really good offenses from great offenses. When you're backed up in a bad position and you can still fight your way out and go get you a touchdown, that's a great drive by the offense.
And he tacks on the extra point. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Looks like he's going to try to return it. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a rest.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, you played a lot of plays, you get worn out, you need a chance to go decompress on the sideline, get some oxygen. Palmer, now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complementary football because it's a two-pronged problem. You've got to score points and answer. You've also got to take your time and give your defense an opportunity to get their win.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, we clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
Looking to throw, it's Childs. Fires to the wideout. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be third down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
It's so nice when you know it's third and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
And that is why this punter is such a big weapon. He can completely flip the field. He's got a cannon for a leg. That was a moonshot. They were able to get downfield, and now this offense, they've got...
Lofts one high and deep. Makes the grab on the right. Oh, look out, there he goes. Touchdown, Horned Frogs. And once he got loose, it was all over.
What an enormous play, the 99-yard touchdown pass. But Palmer, when you're in that end zone and you're backed up and you could take a safety, what's going through your head?
Oh, man, your clock's going off. You know you got to get the football out quick, but I'll tell you, you're also licking your chops because you know in this area of the field, you probably have one-on-one opportunities to the outside. So if you get time and you're able to make an accurate throw, you can hit Hader, and they just did right there, going 99 yards to the crib.
Use the play fake, now to throw. A strike downfield. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made. And the Sun Devils racing to the line in the hurry up. He'll keep it himself. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
I'll tell you, this is a hard defense to run against if you're going to go sideline to sideline because of that guy's speed at linebacker. He can get all the way to the perimeter, chase the quarterback down on the option, and make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Impressive.
They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Third and short coming here right from the midfield stripe. And they got him. They'll get him down for the sack. The Sun Devils will try to pin them back with the punt. First punt was gorgeous. Let's see if he can do it again. He'll field the punt and try to make a big play. He did a great job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. Quarterback checking off. He wants to throw. And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18. They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. On second down, he's looking downfield. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. And this crowd is losing it, frenzied after the back-to-back sacks. Third and long coming up. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And that's a play on third down. This offense just has to do a better job protecting their quarterback. Give them a split second more time to complete that throw, but they couldn't do it then.
And the Horned Frogs will line up to punt it away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. Arizona State has the ball back, and the offense making its way onto the field. After punting the last time they had it, they ought to be set up for a much better result with this drive.
This offense better be licking their chops. You're not going to start with better field possession than this all game, Dave.
You ain't lying. Forget about the last possession and what we did. You're already in scoring position. Take care of that football. Make sure you get some points.
They've moved it to the 19, first and 10. He's going to pass. Gets it out fast. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size. They get the completion, and that's one thing, Jesse. If you're going to get this guy on the ground, you better come in to make the tackle like you mean it.
Man, that was a heat-seeking missile coming in there. He knew he had a lot of work ahead of him with that big fella making the catch. Nice tackle.
To the air, it's Child. He's got it down the middle. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. And the Sun Devils have it in scoring position on first and goal. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And he's got it! Touchdown, Arizona State!
Man, I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And he tacks on the extra point. So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. And he'll return it and try to get behind his blockers. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. Now you find out just how much of a gunslinger you are. Will you roll the dice here late in the half, David?
And you know the defense is going to be really, really conservative, so I think it's an opportunity to be able to take a shot, see how much of a chunk you can get before then you decide really, Jesse, how you want to finish the half.
Just can't turn it over and throw a pick if you're the quarterback here. You've got to be so smart. You're going to be aggressive with your decision making.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call. They're trying to get to it. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. Now on 3rd and 10, if they can move the chains here, maybe they can get this drive started. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. Oh, man, another incompletion. That's 3 in a row. The Horned Frogs will send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. I wouldn't quite call it a shank, but that's not exactly going to go on the resume reel. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Dropping back, it's Child. He's got his man. And they finally haul him down, but not before the good catch and run. The offense burns its 3rd and final timeout of the half. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Comes out throwing on 1st down. He'll take a shot. The pass falls incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, who's got a better seat there today in Tempe than you do? And it'd be easy to say these two offenses are glad we've hit halftime based on their respective performances. It would also be accurate. Turnovers and sacks have told the story so far. And you gotta believe the play calling has been the issue, right? Time to shred those game plans and just get back to basics. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Mountain America Stadium.
All right, Kevin, about ready to start the second half here. The Sun Devils will kick it off to start the second half. He'll start the return inside his 5. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Dynamic on kick returns, and that one puts his offense in business. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. Those two first-half turnovers really damaging, and the primary reason they find themselves trailing to start the third quarter.
And this is an offense that prides themselves on taking care of the football and then having explosive plays. You know they're playing angry right now. They're mad. They know they're the reason why they're down in this game, so I expect them to come out here, lighten it up here after the first drive of the second.
Yeah, and this defense playing fast, playing physical, forcing things into action, forcing those turnovers. They played really well in this first half.
He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down. On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Got his man downfield. And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21. And the Horned Frogs want to crank the tempo. They're going to throw it again. Fires into traffic, picked off. Taking it the other way. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position. Line gets set, first down. From the gun, running back gets the give.
Man, a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle, but how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
That back got thumped, and that happened fast. That linebacker got in there so quick.
And the most important thing for the back, when you see that coming, make sure that football is riveted to your rib cage.
You lose the football, you lose the ability to carry the football. Coaches are going to give that squarely to somebody else.
And the Sun Devils will punt it away on fourth down. No opportunity to run it back as the ball goes out of bounds. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And David,
he's off to the races. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46.
I love this play call. You want to get your playmakers the football in space. What a creative way. This little kind of push pass by the quarterback. Get into the receiver's hands quickly and let him go make yards.
At the 35, he's loose. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down.
You know, you start day one of training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a first down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. They're not sexy, they're not pretty, but in the end, they're effective, and they get you that new set of downs when you need them.
They pull him down after a 4-yard gain down to the 24. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. A shot toward the end zone. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a third down. Trying to pick up a first down. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. And it's picked off for the third time today. And he's brought down, and defense gets the ball back for its own. On first down, here comes this offense. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. He showed it all there, a little elusiveness, a little power, and he's got the first down.
Man, who says you can't run the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks, I got to make big plays. I got to go way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle, nice blocking. How about the running back? You could tell the speed, the wheels, does a great job getting down the field, making a huge rushing play.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. That linebacker saw the express lane right to the ball carrier.
And a great job by the defensive line, getting some push, making them use their resources on him. The linebacker comes free, Brimley making the backfield for a tackle for a loss.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
Unloads to the wideout. It's complete. All by himself down the middle. Touchdown, Sun Devils. And once he found daylight, it was Katie bar the door, baby.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback and wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
TCU has it back, and the Horned Frogs go on offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And you want consistency from your quarterback, man. You don't want the up and down. You don't want the roller coaster. And last week, man, you had the highs of highs. And now this week, just off. He's all over the place. He's not completing the ball at a high percentage. And you just want to find some middle ground and some consistency so this offense can find out exactly who they are and build it consistent.
The Horned Frogs with the 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. He's going to let one fly down the middle. Catch inside the 25. He stopped just short of the goal line at the 1. An explosive play has him set up.
Love the play call here by the offensive coordinator. You can snip it. You can smell in the air. Blood in the water. Now we're taking a shot. You've got the athletes to go execute. Just dial it up.
Quick touch pass to the receiver. Touchdown, TCU! And they made it to the house when they found that 6 points waiting on them. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
TCU 21.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Black. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Hands it off. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Loses 1. Brings up 2nd down.
These two quarterbacks have produced as we check out their numbers after 3.
TCU 21.
One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. 2nd down here as they go back to work after the break. Off play action. Fires to the tight end. And the big fella couldn't elude the cornerback who makes a sure tackle.
I I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
Fires to the wideout. And it's incomplete on third down.
The defense is up against it now, man. You're playing on the road. It's a hostile environment. It's late in the game. Someone's got to step up and make a play. Nice job there knocking that one down for the incompletion.
He's got it. They'll put a stop to that return at about the 37-yard line. TCU will send its offense back onto the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, and certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down. Wide receiver shows motion. To the ground with the back. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team's being out-physicaled. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when you decide to run it.
Trying to get to it. At the 35, he's open. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. And the Horned Frogs are rolling down the field. He'll come out throwing on first down. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And it's been a long day for this offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, it's hard to be successful. That's the 5th sack they have given up. The offensive coordinator has no answers, and this defense has been flying around.
Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. Coming after it. Pressure coming. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack. And whatever they did on 1st and 2nd down, don't do that anymore. 3rd and very long coming up. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. Another interception. That's his 4th of the day. And he's brought down, and his defense gets the ball back for its own. Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable, that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
Movement here from the tight end. The give as they work on that clock. Oh, he's so hard to get on the ground. He's got room. And they'll get it to the 39-yard line, and they'll move the chains. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense trying to milk this clock and keep time on their side. They'll ride the hot hand. And he got enough for the first down, but somebody put the hit stick upside his head.
No mystery on that play. With the lead, we are going to run the ball. You know it's coming, and we are running right at you. Right into the teeth of the defense, and they're still able to get a nice game.
And the freshman does a great job using his technique and getting the man on the ground. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. From the gun, running back on the move. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup. Quick timeout call by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Ball at the 38. The defense will try to get a stop on 3rd and short. Brown has it. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. From 56 yards out, what a power leg. Never a doubt about that one. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Georgia is currently up big at this moment, so much so they're on the verge of giving Uga the rest of the day off. They're up by 27 over Notre Dame. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the...
Fires one high and deep. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on 1st down. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about. They'll throw it on 1st down. He's not afraid to go deep. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, we've got a chance at a finish. He'll try to tack on one more. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. The clock is at 40 seconds. They'll line up for the onside kick and try to save themselves in the waiting moments. Looks as if the hands team will be able to recover the ball.
And this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
The points weren't the issue, guys, but they couldn't string together enough stops to get the victory.
Yeah, good news, bad news scenario, I guess. Good news is you're going to score. This offense looks like they can be explosive and they can light up the scoreboard. Bad news, though, David, they've got a lot to clean up on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and welcome to college football nowadays, right? This is how it works, a ton of points. Defenses learn as you go, but you've got to get better. You got to force some turnovers, create those negative plays. Just can't give up so many points.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.